The Malaysian state of Kedah is a place of beginnings. Sitting on the northwest of the peninsula, Kedah is a heartland of tradition. It's the country's first sultanate with the longest unbroken line of Malay rulers. Its archaeological sites, treasure troves of the region's earliest man-made structures. Its archipelago of islands, Langkawi, harbors some of the planet's oldest geological gems. This is a legendary place where every rock has a story, including my story. This is where I first set sail on my passages.
Langkawi, good morning, International 170.
And now, I'm back with a whole new perspective.
You're going really close, Sean. I like Howie.
On this journey, I get to rediscover this jewel of Kedah. How the magic of Langkawi is indeed timeless.
I'm Denise Keller, and this is my passage to Malaysia. Back to the beginning, baby!
My passage begins on the outskirts of Kedah's capital, Alor. The Gunung Kuriang Recreational Park is hosting a week-long celebration with events beamed live nationwide. Folks from kampungs or villages all over the state have come together to showcase the traditional lifestyles of their heartland.
That one's funny. Right, Gussie?
One of the biggest events on a kampung festive calendar is a wedding. By tradition, this is the only day where you get a chance to be treated like king and queen. Today's lucky pair won a prize to scale up their big day, big time.
Announcing the arrival of Yang Teramat Mulia, Tunku Paling Membesar.
The idea of creating Kedah's first wedding carnival came from one of the state's real royal dignitaries, Her Highness Princess, or Tunku Putri Intan Shafinas.
The whole idea of getting people together, there's nothing like a carnival where we have food, we have dance, we have the actual wedding going on.
What do they call it in Malay?
Raja Sehari, king for a day.
King for a day.
That's how we traditionally like to celebrate the couple.
Yeah.
And I think the sense of abundance and luxury
Yeah.
is quite important to the host. It's not just wearing the best clothes for the couple, but it's also about sharing that sense of celebration. It's a great communal exercise as well, because in the old days, people would help each other out. So when your child gets married, then your neighbors will bring the chickens and the fruits and vegetables.
So when your neighbors' children get married, you offer them the same thing. So it's all about, helping each other in one village, right? Yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. You know where to come for your wedding.
Yeah, next year I'm going to sign up here. Paddy Fields. You're hired.
Thank you. I'm booked.
I'm shown by one of Malaysia's celebrated fashion and set designers, Rizalman, how to set the stage that will make a common couple feel like a royal one.
This is like a mock-up throne for the couples because they have been calling like the king and the queen of the day.
So
people are treating them as the like a rulers, like a king and a queen.
Okay.
So sort of this is like a coronation day for them as a husband and wife.
Okay, so I'm going to pretend to be the queen,
Yes.
and you'll be my king.
Sure. So we go very gracefully, and then you go and sit there.
Okay.
And then, of course, there'll be a maid of honor who will actually accompany you and and help you to sit, and then they put this pillows on you, and then you have to do your hands like this, and then then she will start fanning you like this.
Can I have a fanner? I need a fanner. I need to feel like a queen.
Fans up.
Sorry.
Fan there.
Gotta, rehearse everything before the queen, the actual queen arrives.
Fan there.
Okay, thank you.
So wherever guest who's coming up to bless you, they will put some rose water on your palms.
Okay.
And then the other two condiments, meaning that they are blessing you as the couples of the day.
So this is the ultimate throne. You
Yes.
really do feel like
Like a king and a queen.
king and a
Yes.
queen.
It just feels so regal and beautiful.
Appreciate it.
It's so pretty. And I love my fanner. Thank you. Thank you. You can stop fanning. Thank you very much. I was just joking. Oh, it actually looks better like that.
Taking center stage at every Malay wedding is, of course, the food. And that's why at this wedding carnival, the main event televised live is a full-on cooking competition between several kampungs around the state of Kedah.
I'm ready for this cook-off. Oh, yeah.
The cook-off is a charged-up version of what really goes on behind the scenes of a kampung wedding. The communal effort called Gotong Royong, where all hands get on deck to prepare the massive feast. But add some competition to the mix, and there are bound to be some cracks in the assembly line.
Oh, I cut myself already.
Oh, bleeding. Ay, belum masak dah luka.
I know. I'm not good in the kitchen. I told you.
You let the kampung team down.
No, I'm not letting the kampung down. Hello. It's just a bit of blood, okay? It's just blood. This is how much I love my kampung. All right, I'm back.
Obviously not cut out for the chopping board, I get reassigned to other tasks. What's served at weddings is called nasi minyak, literally oil rice. Lots and lots of it.
Rather challenging, I have to say. Because while you're pushing the rice, off the bottom bit, it's really hot.
If there's one thing this place is not short on, it's rice. Kedah has always been literally the rice bowl of the country. The vast expanses of paddy fields that run from the coastlines to the interior are the signature landscape feature of the state. Despite the obvious abundance of rice all around, nothing goes to waste. In fact, the last scrapings of rice stuck to the bottom of the pot is actually a special feature of Kedah's cuisine called kerak nasi.
It's like the bottom bit of the rice here. Douse it with the curry. Sedap.
So time's up on the kampung cook-off competition. The moment of truth. All the teams step up to present their dishes to the judges.
You made this?
Yeah, I put magic in there. It's gonna taste delicious. Try it.
Good answer.
Out of 8 kampung teams competing, the judges ranked us number 4. But our stall was a huge hit with the crowds.
They're hungry. Very, very hungry.
Every year, the Kedah Wedding Carnival runs for a week on the outskirts of Alustar. It's a really fun way for visitors to join in and celebrate the kampung spirit without having to gate crash someone's wedding. Coming up, I take a leap of faith in the legendary islands of Langkawi. I discover a geopark hundreds of millions of years old.
They just got out everywhere, don't they? They just come out of nowhere.
Absolutely, yes.
A place where beauty is alive with a thrill of danger.
Watch where you're going. Don't look at me. Focus. Oh my God.
Langkawi, an archipelago of 99 islands, is Keda's tourism flagship. This tropical paradise is also a magical realm full of fantastical legends and myths. A place that will always be very special to me. Langkawi is where years ago I first set sail on passages all over Malaysia, where I met one of Malaysia's maritime legends, Azam Manzor, who inspired me with a new sense of direction.
Maintain direction, maintain depth, maintain speed. When you're on a boat like this, all your 5 senses are working because you have to feel the wind on your face so that you know which way the direction of the wind is.
I'm getting there. I'm getting my 5 senses open.
Yes.
They say that if you taste the waters of Langkawi, you're sure to return. And now, I'm back.
Ready! I'm so ready!
With a brand new perspective.
Langkawi, good morning, International 1702. 1702, Langkawi, good morning, right, sir?
Stunning day. You picked the right day for it, you know?
Yeah, I called nature for you.
Thank you very
I
much.
called the sun, I called the wind, made sure everything was smooth.
Thank you. So look at that light.
Ah,
Look at that shadow, that light. The
that's a
sun is
postcard already.
Yes.
Gosh,
absolutely.
that's gorgeous.
Captain Sean Ma is highly experienced at flying over different types of terrain around the world. Today, from Langkawi's heli outpost, he offers visitors a bird's-eye view of the world's oldest rock formations rising from the sea. Langkawi's UNESCO Geopark is full of majestic limestone outcrops hundreds of millions of years old.
They just got out everywhere, don't they? They just come out of nowhere.
Absolutely, yes. Look at that jagged edge there, you know? Look at the attraction, you know, the beauty of that rock formation, carved out by nature.
That's incredible, Sean. That is just incredible.
Yeah, only nature can do that.
Oh, wow. Hi, Langkawi.
Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Every country has its uniqueness, and here, and in this part of the world, this is so unique, so pretty. And beyond that is the sea, you know? It's an awesome view.
You're going really close, Sean. Yeah.
Now we...
Yeah. Ah. God. Ah. Why do you go this close, Sean?
I mean, we're in a helicopter. We have access to it. I want to see, you know, the details of the limestone.
What attracts you about the detail?
I like the limestone formation, the different shades of colors, vegetations on it.
That's really close, Sean.
The drawers, they look dangerous, but at the same time, very, very pretty.
Wow, that is just madness. You are so close. I feel like you're almost landing on this thing. Watch where you're going. Don't look at me. Focus. Oh my God.
With a background in flying, action-packed aerial adventures, Sean believes this is by far the best way to take in the geopark.
Well, this is a way to see it, you see, yeah, look at that.
Oh. He's your daredevil. It feels very dangerous what you do, is it?
Oh, there's some element of danger, you know, in flying, in driving.
I know, but what is the danger getting close to a limestone crop?
Now you know, this is a technique we learn to fly mountains, you know, that we come really close on one side. Then we have this smooth air coming from the back, you know, and we're safe. If something goes wrong and we need to put her down, we have plenty of room on the right to go to. We don't fly in the middle of two mountains. And this is a safe technique to fly.
How do you do this?
in order to enjoy this view, you gotta know exactly what you're doing. I mean, you gotta know where the wind is from. All the time you gotta be on top, the wind. And yeah, I can feel it, anticipate where is it from, and you attack it, properly and safe. Safety is paramount.
When you're saying you have to feel it, how do you feel it?
Well, it's all, senses, and I can feel the wind pushing us at the moment. Yeah.
Right.
And there's so many telltale signs to see where the wind is from. We can look at the trees, look at the birds, clouds, which direction going.
Wow.
And I can feel it. See, we can feel that wind, pushing us.
Ah! This is incredible! I love my job!
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Yeah, mine is a tough one. I have to put up with this view every day. Oh man.
I feel sorry for you. I really do.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
As well as the thrill of the action, what this bird's eye view gives you is a real sense of Langkawi's phenomenal geography. The ancient limestone formations are only part of the geopark. The Killam River is an artery into a massive mangrove habitat that literally breathes life into this island.
I'm just gonna crab along the side so that we look like we're gonna go downriver this way. Follow that boat.
You go low. You go very low.
Sean is qualified with special skills to fly at extremely low altitude.
Oh, wow.
And it's this that really brings you the best bird's eye perspective. To experience what it's like to fly like the icon of Langkawi, the eagle.
You have the eagle's perspective.
Well, maybe.
You do. I mean, you got a bird here, and you're going so low, you could fish right now.
This is Langkawi, the real Langkawi, to see it this way from the air. I'm pretty fortunate, very, very privileged. See it this way. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's the best way to see Langkawi.
Oh,
You just kind
absolutely.
of assume that this place is just full of islands and wonderful beaches. But there's
Absolutely.
just so much more to it.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Do this every day, and don't really get sick of it. It's so pretty, this area. Let's go and find some island.
From the Killam Geopark, our aerial adventure reconnects me with more familiar scenes. This is what Langkawi is famous for. A magical archipelago of 99 islands, full of legends.
Like little speckles of gems, Let's put some over there and then grow them along.
Let's go check them out.
You can. Right through. Love it. I've been on many helis before, but this one is a very, very special journey for me because I thought I knew Langkawi and now I'm seeing everything from above, and it's just magical.
We're gonna get some bumps here. You feel it coming?
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the wind.
That's the wind?
That's the turbulence coming off there. It's like in the sea, it's like waves. Okay, once it hit a rock or there's a rock underneath and you have this current going over,
Yeah.
you get this turbulence. So it's the same, but it's just that it is invisible. You just gotta read it, anticipate it, where it's coming from. Once you know it, okay, fine,
When you go out here and you see the water with a bit of that, current on it,
Yeah.
like with little waves,
Yeah.
does that give you an indication of the wind?
Yeah, all of it.
So you look at everything and it's
Yeah.
collective, and,
Uh-huh.
and then you also feel it.
The biggest instruments is out there.
Right, got it.
Use the terrain, use the ground, use everything, use nature. Maybe we should go and have a look at Dang Bunting or something.
Yeah, could we?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
Great.
do that.
My special request to Sean was to revisit one of Langkawi's legendary landmarks,
The famous Dang Bunting is coming up right here.
There we go.
Yeah.
this time from above.
Feels like just
Years ago, it was legendary sailor Datuk Azza who first made me aware of how islands in this archipelago are full of mystical tales.
Legend says that married couples cannot have
Conceive,
children,
yeah.
cannot conceive, so they come here, drink a little bit of that water from the lake, and some people say it works. So I don't know. I've never tried myself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But more than myths and legends, what Azza introduced me to around these islands was a profound sense of self-discovery.
The hardest part is, of course, managing yourself. The sea is different, you know, it gives me a chance to actually look back to myself, you know, and most of us have forgotten that.
Returning to these islands today, seeing it from a different perspective, I realize Langkawi put a special spell on me. I feel like I've come full circle, back to the beginning, back to where I first set off on my passages of discovery.
Do you remember when I asked you, I said, what does the sea do for you?
You see, being out at sea is, you know, having to face yourself. You had nothing else, you know?
This is where it all began for me. Starting from here and then coming back here has been such an incredible journey. Well, you know what? Thank you for this wonderful journey because I did face myself.
See the horizon, you look, you know, so far out, but you're actually looking back to yourself.
It's true. Cheers to you, man.
Okay, yeah, it's nice to see you back here.
Right at the beginning.
Yes.
Next, I set off to explore Langkawi's most famous legend. Myths and motives come together against the backdrop of stunning locations to tell the tragic tale behind a 7-generation curse.
Just look defensive and concentrated. It's death. It's imminent.
I'm always blown away by how beautiful the Langkawi archipelago is. Just over the last couple of decades, this sleepy maritime backwater suddenly placed itself firmly on international travel and leisure maps. Its calm bays and long beaches provide perfect harbor all year round. And every year, its resorts play host to a growing number of trade gatherings and retreats. Today, I've been invited to attend the first ever international tropical style trade and design fair. Being the jewel of Kedah, Langkawi's events are often graced by royal patronage.
Good morning. How are you?
I get the chance to meet up again with Her Highness Tunku Putri Intan Shafinas. InStyle Langkawi is the brainchild of designer and curator Faisal Abdullah, whose idea was to revive the vibe of the archipelago's design and craft trade.
I mean, Langkawi is just the right place to do this, you know, and the hills and by the beach and the Andaman Sea, just the perfect setting.
It's definitely unique. I've never been to a trade show where it's set on a tropical island. Did you think about what it might have been in the ancient times?
Wow, I can imagine gold and pearls. I would imagine that all those traders that pass via Langkawi to the other ports probably discovered it because of its beauty and because it's protected from the monsoons, and so they could park and enjoy this beautiful setting. So I really think it's Langkawi that brought the traders here. Its beauty, its position, its little islets, the 99 magical islands. So there is that magic, and it's happening now again.
Of all the designs and crafts on display, I'm drawn to a particular brand of batik and the story behind its motifs.
So pretty.
Ya boleh Tunku, apa khabar? Waalaikumsalam. Dari Kelantan, we use the ancient wood carving Yeah, so from the motif of this Ketamburi, we comprehend it to all of our collection in here so that everything comes from the same motif. And then what she's wearing right now is also Ketamburi.
Nick is from a family of batik makers. His brand Rus Gahara is inspired by legendary Malay women characters in history.
You know, Gahara, what does that word mean?
Gahara is actually a Malay word, or people call it Gahara, or is associated with Anak Gahara, which means descendants of the king from queen.
Right.
So we take it on the elements of Gahara itself as the queen. So from that word of queen, we need to have a strong statement of women to be out there. And we take the legend where we use this motif, we borrowed it from the ancient wood carving motif of Ketamburi on the palaces in Kelantan or in East Coast mainly, which is actually coming from the flower of a grass. And the composition of the flower itself definitely brings something that is unique.
These beautiful motifs. This is the same, right?
I like all things fashion, but what I really love about Malaysia's traditional textiles and fabrics is how they're so inspired by the natural elements around them.
And we try to implement the limestone effect on the background.
Look at this beautiful flower. Wow, look at that.
They're rich with a sense of place.
And it's very light. The background color
They tell the tales of their land.
the motif.
Can I try it on, please?
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Oh.
And in Langkawi, almost every geographical feature here has some fantastical tale. Every island, every rock, it seems, has a legend attached to it.
My childhood was full of people, my parents, my family, talking about different parts of the island and the moral tales that came out of it.
Right.
And stories of fantastical birds and giant fish or white sacred crocodiles. It's that range which you see in front of you.
Yeah.
It has been accredited and recognized as having geological uniqueness. And it also has a lovely story of two brothers who unfortunately came to blows and one diced the other, and then they became mountain ranges and see the jagged formation. So
there's a lot of dicing in this island. There's a lot of stabbing and a lot of dicing. It's definitely more pleasant now.
It's exactly this sense of a story and legend in everything that gives Langkawi its special charm. No matter how much it progresses, there's a timeless quality about this place.
Oh, it's magical here. Oh, paradise. You have it all.
Yeah, I do. We do, actually. And it's here. It's always been here. That's the most marvelous thing.
I'm intrigued by the way land space and nature inspires style and identity that's woven organically into traditional fabrics like batik. So today, I've come up with an idea for a fashion shoot inspired by Langkawi. To bring it to life, I seek out Rus Gahara's creative director, Trif Tamid.
Hey, Trif.
Hello. Check this out. You have to check this out. I mean, I'm obsessed with my collection.
Trif designs contemporary collections of batik based on tropical seasons.
Gorgeous.
He's doing it Malaysian style, celebrating the monsoon season or the rice harvest.
During the harvest time, the sun shaded is really strong.
Right.
So the colors is really bright. Tangerine, all these
Bright
happy
colors.
bright colors,
Yeah.
which is, it goes to the Langkawi so well.
Beautiful.
Though I love these vibrant colors and playful motifs, the idea I have is inspired by a darker tale. Langkawi's most famous legend is the tragic story of Mazuri, a woman who cursed these islands for 7 generations after being wrongfully accused and sentenced to death for adultery. Some say it's no coincidence Langkawi's tourism boom started 7 generations after this event.
This is one of the most amazing locations in Langkawi by far, in my opinion.
Okay.
I've been here, but wait for it.
Wait for it. It's just...
Oh my goodness.
My idea is to create a fashion editorial for Rus Gahara's latest batik collection based on the story of Mazuri, kind of like my tribute to the ultimate legend of Langkawi. I enlisted the help of photographer Luke to shoot the story using the spectacular locations of these islands.
This is Telaga Tujuh.
Wow.
And Tujuh is 7, so it's a 7-well waterfall. So you can see all the wells here.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is one of the bigger waterfalls in Langkawi, and it gave me a whole different perspective to Langkawi. You just think that Langkawi is just 99 islands and an archipelago crop, but you have all these magical waterfalls. And I thought this would be a good location for Mazuri's execution. What do you think?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, the light here is absolutely perfect because this face actually blocks all of that harsh light and it just settles here,
There's something powerful in the water.
It is.
I just think that also with the stone, it's really harsh and strong, and I just thought that represented the Chris that she was executed with.
Right.
Of course, there's also, the mythical idea of what 7 means. She cursed Langkawi for 7 generations.
Right.
And this is a 7-well waterfall. So there's
I'm
gotta
sensing
be
a pattern here, right?
Yeah, there's gotta be something in the 7s, right?
7 continents.
Yeah. 7 colors of the rainbow.
Right. 7 is the pH neutral for water, so purity.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
So where do you think we're gonna be shooting? It's your first time here.
I mean, we have to capture this because this is just breathtakingly spectacular. But I mean, I love this as well, and
yeah, that's gorgeous.
This is, I mean, we could, I can sit up here and we can combine these 2 shots because I'm loving this area down here. I think it's perfect.
You want me to climb, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah. You up for it?
I'm good at climbing. I don't really want to work right now, but I guess we have to, right?
I think so.
All right, I guess we have to work. Let's go look for Trip.
All right, let's do it.
Australian Luke Guilford is a commercial and editorial photographer based in Los Angeles. He's super busy and used to shooting assignments in all kinds of locations around the world. But when I called him, all I had to say was Langkawi, and he was here in a flash.
Luke! Where's Mazuri going here?
Triff chose something from his collection that would stand out against the cold and hard look of the waterfall.
Okay, that's good. Now, chin on shoulder.
After nailing several compositions and poses to capture the batik against the natural elements, we go after some shots that will really express the weight of the story, the gravity of this last moment in Mazuri's life.
Just look pensive and concentrated. It's death. It's imminent.
The Telaga Tujuh waterfall is absolutely the perfect location for this scene. It gives so much force to the idea and pushes me further to immerse myself in this powerful moment. For our next scene, we set off in search of locations that depict a more cheerful chapter in the story of Mazuri. Mazuri was believed to have come to Langkawi from further north of these islands. I thought of what it must have been like for a young woman like her, so full of life, arriving for the first time in this gorgeous archipelago. We chose some of Langkawi's signature backdrops of beaches and limestone outcrops to shoot the more vibrant and colorful batik pieces.
Denise, look at me. Beautiful. Okay, look back. Yeah. Yeah.
Shooting against these stunning limestone outcrops, some millions of years old, I'm reminded of how Langkawi's rocks mark stories much older than Missouri's. This archipelago sets the perfect scene for some ancient fantastical tales of magical realism.
Mind your head, all the stalactites.
I take a break from the fashion shoot to let resident naturalist and explorer Aidi Abdullah introduce me to one of Langkawi's symbolic sites, Gua Cerita, the Cave of Legends.
So why is this the Cave of Legends?
You know the story of the Garuda? When the Garuda was around, it protected a lot of small city-states. So when it heard that this princess from China was about to marry a prince from Rome, it said such a union would destroy the smaller states.
That would have been a powerful union.
Very powerful union. So the princess was kidnapped by the Garuda and brought here, where she was kept prisoner. Then it went out to destroy the fleet of Rome that was coming to China. Now in the fight, the prince was thrown into the sea and washed up outside where we landed.
Oh no!
And he reunited with the princess here, and then the Garuda was defeated after that.
And they fell in love?
Yes. And that is the bed that she was supposed to have been resting on. And here you are now. The bed, the cave, the bay. It was all here.
I can't believe I'm in this cave. I had read so many stories about it, but I had no idea it was here in Langkawi.
This is what the island is all about. All the stories, all the rocks.
It's a pretty nice place, you know. I mean, I could set up here, I could put a kitchen there, you know, a little bar on that side, my bed.
Springform mattress, yeah, I think it'll work. I love this place.
Ready.
Coming up, out of the cave and onto the beautiful beaches. For the last leg of Missouri's story, it's time to celebrate the lifting of her 7th-generation curse and let her white blood of innocence burst into the scene.
That's it.
Yay! Bravo!
Some of Langkawi's most celebrated attractions center on its massive ancient rocks. The limestone formations of its UNESCO geopark lend a distinctive topographical signature to this archipelago. Taking an extended break from my fashion photo shoot, I leave the legends and myths to continue exploring the northeast of the island with resident naturalist Aidi.
Now, you know what this place is called? The hole in the wall. From Tanjung Ru, it's been a solid limestone wall all the way up to here.
Okay.
And then it continues all the way down to Kisap.
Right.
This is the only break that allows you in for the boats. And that is known as a hole in the wall.
And where does the hole in the wall lead us to?
The most beautiful part of Langkawi, the mangroves.
Safely fortified behind the geopark's massive walls, the Kilim River leads into mangrove sanctuaries where visitors get to experience one of Langkawi's most understated attractions.
That's the green tunnel. If you look around you, it's as if the jungle is embracing you. The mangrove thing, come in. You're getting more oxygen here than anywhere else.
Breathe in, folks.
Look at the balls on top.
There they are, the monkeys.
So, welcome to my office. This is where I work.
It's so peaceful, isn't it?
Forget the politics, forget everything. This is life.
Heidi maintains that mangroves are the least understood feature of Langkawi's landscape, but perhaps the most important source of sustenance and life for the island. A former pilot and flying instructor, jetting between big cities, Heidi remembers clearly how one visit to Langkawi brought him down to earth and changed his way of life forever.
They say when you've drunk the waters of Langkawi, you can never leave. I never thought I'd leave aviation, but I did. A lot of my colleagues in the industry are the same way. People with a very bright future have just said, this is what we want to be. This is where we are happy.
Yeah.
And then after we have worked here for a while, we find that the island pays us back. Our health improves. This is what Langkawi does to you. If you give to the island gives back. And when that happens, you want to give even more. This, to me, is life.
It's now time to head over to the gorgeous white sands of Tanjung Ru for the final chapter of my fashion editorial, inspired by the legend of Mazuri.
That's it. Cross those arms over as well. Okay. I love that. Hold that, please. Hold that. Yeah, that's gorgeous. We'll just finish up now, Denise, between these two islands. As close as you can past me. Ready.
We chose Tanjung Ru's stunning white beach because legend says when Mazuri was wrongfully executed, white blood flowed to mark her innocence.
Yeah, again.
Mazuri works really hard. I'm gonna do a crazy jump too.
Okay, if you want to jump, when my camera faces the island, that's when you're in the middle. Can you see this leaf here?
Yeah?
That's where I want you to jump. Go for it. You happy?
That's just for fun. That's a Denise shot. Do you want me to run again to make it more flowy?
Yeah, actually, when you hit the sweet spot, can you then dart in this way and then back and out? So you're actually lining up with me running away. Go for it.
We wanted long flying batik to signal the last chapter in Mazuri's story, finally lifting Langkawi's 7-generation curse.
Dart away. That's it. Got it.
Yay! Bravo! Let's just go around. It's very hot out here. It's beautiful, but it's hot. Gorgeous light.
Luke, Triff, and I are now ready to review our fashion tribute to Mazuri.
We start with the 7 wells.
We knew the elements would work well, but still the power of Langkawi's backdrops just blew us away.
So we really managed to capture the contemplation, and especially here, this is kind of like the end reflection, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that water is incredible, isn't it? It's so powerful. It's just...
Because I love the fact of the white background, with the flashes water, with the fabrics, it's amazing.
Yeah, that fabric looks amazing against the water impacting on my shoulders. And... Whoa.
Yeah, I love that shot.
That's great. Are you happy with this one?
I love it.
You love it?
It's the whole point of the collection.
Yeah.
So now we've got the arrival.
The young Mazuri, very young, very playful.
Which is so soft because of the way that the water was.
Yeah.
And the background, we blew it right out, and as you can see, it's just... But this was great because the water caught the garment in this like half moon.
Yeah.
You know, and all you've got is the boat without anyone else in it.
And good choice on the boat, huh?
Great choice on the boat, yeah.
I love how raw and rustic it is. And then you managed to capture the limestone crop in the background end.
And then when we turn the shot around...
That is amazing.
It's a great shot.
Just gotta look at this.
Because the wind was blowing the way it was, it's just picked up all of the colours in the garment. So let's move on to now the beach.
To the beach.
It just flows so beautifully with the wind, huh?
Really pretty, and the way the garment flicks through.
Somehow it's pop up with a background of the blue sky, a bit of green.
There are just so many elements here that change constantly. It's almost like the weather was, you know, commanding my emotion.
It does, absolutely. When the sun came out, it was, I mean, look at the colours. They're just unbelievable. Because the sand is so white,
Yeah.
look at it pick up the silver through the reflective part of the garment. And that, I mean, that's, for me,
That's the winning shot.
that's the winning shot. That's gorgeous.
We got the winning shot. Missouri's innocent. Oh, high five, guys.
High five.
Being able to bring my fashion experience into this Missouri tribute is my own way of saying thank you to a place so special to me.
Langkawi, the jewel of Kedah, will always be about beginnings. It's where I first set off on my passages. Journeys that allowed me to experience such wonderful moments.
Oh, wow. I Langkawi.
And at the same time, allowed me to discover about myself.
This is amazing!
Okay, Denise, back at me.
Oh my God!
I'm Denise Keller, and this is my passage to Malaysia.
Boleh!
So then we'll have your wedding next year.
Okay. All right. Stay. Denise slide.
Yeah, keep it. Oh, my mouth right now.